Hey guys, it's Matt. Welcome back to another episode of the Fish in a Barrel reality show. This is the show when we feel both a little beaten up and a little angry. And we have to vent our anger from time to time by laughing at a system that insults our intelligence. Now, we start off maybe a little pissed off, a little beaten up, but just like that creepy oracle said in The Matrix, by the end, after a few laughs, that creepy oracle said, you'll feel right as rain.
Gridlocked traffic. But this Silicon Valley startup says the solution comes straight from our imagination. The flying car.
You can actually use it today, and you can cut your commute at least in half, if not more.
Jim Duchovny says his company Aleph Aeronautics was able to create something we've been dreaming about since the Jetsons.
We're trying to make science fiction a reality.
And while not quite ready for the road, Duchovny says the flying car is about to take off. NBC News was given exclusive access to see their concept model with our own eyes.
If everything goes smoothly, I'm going to watch a car fly over another car. We'll see.
Sure enough, we watched it soar through the air over another car and land.
What an absolute insult to the intelligence of anybody that doesn't have their head completely up their ass. No, it's not CGI. It doesn't need to be CGI. It's the simplest of drones. What Homer Hickam did in that coal mining town, he sent his rockets up in the 50s or something, it was far more sophisticated. It's just a shell with some fans underneath. A piece of shit hovercraft you could order through a Sears catalog in the 70s were more sophisticated. This is an absolute psyop on the people. Oh, I'll have relatives like, did you see the new flying car? They believe it. You can see we'll look at the pictures soon. Who's this? Count Dracula? The wheelbase. You can't even turn the wheels fully. A seventh grade. I'm not even joking, guys. A seventh or eighth grade 3,200 pre-orders. Why didn't you just go for the 3,300? I mean, they had to hold back from time to time. What an absolute insult. There's the 33. And what an insult to our intelligence. It doesn't even drive. It's basic. What's underneath? An Amish carriage? The notion is, well, if you hit traffic, you can fly over top. Oh, everybody starts flying up. That will create a big collision in the air, you jackasses. This is NBC or CNBC. They present this to the people as real. What an insult. Hey, Mr. Jackass, this dude here thinks he's got a big scoop or something. I'm going to get my big break and move up the ranks of NBC and CNBC. Can't anybody do any real reporting? Can't anybody is it possible? No, they're all not downloaded, I know it. Real reporting would be, you need to allow us to get closer than 150 feet. The wheels look completely pressed up against the plastic sides. How do you even turn the wheels fully to the right or left? This doesn't make any sense. Show me the anti-lock braking system. Show me the airbag. Show me all the requirements to drive on California highways. It looks like a plastic shell that you'd get out of a Cracker Jack box, and there's probably some Walmart fans underneath. Why can't this dude here do some real reporting? He's all proud of himself. You're a jackass. Sorry, but this is the Fish in the Barrel show. This is the type of attitude when I'm in this sort of mood. Alf. It's the freaking comedy show. Alf is what it is. Remember Alf from what is it from was it the late 80s? I never thought it was funny. I had friends in high school that never missed Alf. I just did not get it. I just thought it was really, really stupid. Is this a complete psyop? Well, it's a half psyop. It is a Silicon Valley startup. They basically they'll throw money at any company where that company will eventually support the Not Milk story. This guy probably thinks he's trying to develop a real flying car, just like all the AI companies that all receive unlimited funding. If anybody out there listening to the sound of my voice, you want to become a multi-millionaire, start a Silicon Valley startup that will in some way do a business that benefits Not Milk. They'll throw endless money at you, knowing 95% are just going to go eventually out of business once the owner takes 5 to 10 million out of the business and lives comfortably for the rest of his life. That's what happened in 1999 with the dot-coms. That's what's happening now with way more industries beyond the dot-coms, including drugs that they know will never make it past the first trial, yet somehow magically all this shit is funded because there's no shortage of money at the Not Milk. They will place tons of money in 100 companies, knowing 99 will fail. As long as they get one thing out of one company that either harms the people or fools the people, like this jackass here from Transylvania. Okay, I feel a lot better. I'm glad I got a little bit of that out. This is the Fish in the Barrel reality show. It's not just Fish in the Barrel yell and scream at not milk show. So elements of reality. I wanted to talk about this for a long time. I've never talked about it, or have I? Briefly. Let's do it right now, at least for 5 minutes, and we'll do it again in the future. The amount of things that we have to do in this reality is just unnaturally long. It doesn't make any sense. We think it's all normal because we were born into this, but it's not just that there's too many things to do. Just keeping up with the dishes in your sink. Just think about it. How if you just let it go for a little bit, I'm just here with 2 cats. And if I just let it go a little bit, there's 3 cat plates it's all hard and crusty. Then you got to scrape it off. Then you got to scrape. Oh, I should have put it underwater. And then just some more. And I don't have a family, a wife, kids coming and going, dogs. I don't know how people do it. But here's the thing. We all know it's just unnatural. If you think it through, all the things we have to do. And somebody that works at a corporation Monday through Friday, all the projects that they have, and half are chosen by the family because they have to keep up with the Joneses. Or we need a fresh garden just like the neighbors have. So you do the garden and all the overseeding on the lawn and the Scott's treatment one but just other things like this is my windowsill's rotting. I got to spend all day replacing this. Okay, we all know that. I think it's actually increasing. That's the main point of this segment. Sure, I could just complain that the amount of things we need to do per the way this reality was set up is just too many things. Just when you get out of bed in the morning, how many minutes, how many things do you have to do? And brush your teeth and this and that and put the dog food down. And then by the time you get out the door, I'm just saying it seems like it would have to be exactly the same as when some of us that are a little bit older grew up in the 70s or 80s. I'm saying, I don't know how to talk about it. Metaphysically, I think it's slow creep increasing to a degree. Just give you something. These are bad examples. I don't know really how to talk about this. And imagine if anybody stumbled upon this crazy video. When I was a kid in Kingswood Apartments in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, Murray Drive, I don't ever remember cleaning my room. And I mean like dusting. Never. And we were in the apartment for 12 years, at least. I don't remember. I think I have a pretty good memory. And I don't want to get into things like, Matt, you think you had a childhood. The reality came into being just 3 days ago or 4 years ago. I love those conversations, but we're not going to do that right now. My mother, a big cleaner? No, my room was my room. I almost don't even remember her coming into my room except, would you like another blanket or something? I don't know how the room got clean. I didn't dust under the baseboards. I remember doing nothing. My mother was not, trust me, not going around the house with an apron cleaner. She worked like 3-4 little jobs here and there. No way was that my mother. So how did it, in other words, 1 month under my bed here, and I know I have cats, but it's just covered in dust bunnies and cat hair and crap. My bathroom behind, it is dirty in 3 or 4 days. I don't, my mother did clean the toilet. This is a bad example. If I don't keep up with certain things in this house, sometimes daily, at least weekly, it gets completely out of control. And I'm just thinking back, I just don't remember doing these sort of things. So I do think, it's not anything new to anybody listening that the reality does change and morph. And this century is not the same as the last one. This millennia is not the same as the last one. The demarcation line of the 7-Eleven job application, etc. I think it's the amount of things we have to do. Just think how long it takes just to get out the door in the morning. Especially women have to put on their makeup. We just think it's all normal. I think when we die and we look back at this, that's one of the experiences we were meant to go through. We'll have probably nothing to do, or wherever we go, whatever we do when we die, we'll say, look at the thousands of things we participated in, that thinking it was normal. Then we get back to a topic that we love to discuss here, and we'll do it for a few minutes right now. Is the reality for each of us the same? I know somebody that works for a New York-based large Fortune 100 company. They have told me that they know people that commute in an hour and a half, and I think 2 hours a day each way, and they have a family and kids. Now, I'm telling you, I can't get my stuff done sometimes. Yeah, okay. At 7:30, 8 o'clock, I do what many people can't do. I do have that luxury. I grab an IPA. For a mental break, I just go down into the basement. Fifi Addy girl jumps on my lap. I'll watch a mindless movie. Last night I watched, was it the last episode of Reacher? Of Jack Reacher. We'll talk. It was Anthony Michael Hall. Like, look at Anthony Michael Hall. He looks like I think he's supposed to be 50. He looks like he was 70. The little kid from 16 Candles. Jake. I was like, is that Anthony Michael Hall? Anyway, so I have that luxury. Fine. Many people, I have a big family. I can't just go sit down and watch 3 hours and drink a beer or two and have a cat on my lap. Okay, that. If I couldn't do that, I wouldn't be able to do these videos and that sort of mental, want to get away, that thing. But okay, are we carrying the same realities? Meaning, other than that, there's I can't keep up sometimes with what I have to do. If you include all the little house repairs, like my rotted garage door frame, all that stuff. Well, how do the people that work for the big corporation, okay, fine, they're making 150, 200,000, they get contractors to do it, but they get home at 7:30, and then, how do they do it? And the kids and the wife works too. I'm saying this is the husband. Okay, the wife works too. I have no idea how that possibly can be done, almost to the point where I'm saying they live in some sort of separate reality. I can't keep up. I used to call it when I go to bed at night, if it takes over 15 minutes, I call it Puss in Boots time. I'll be 1 minute or less in case this starts boring you. When I had the 4 here, Puss Boots, Fifi Addy, and Zara, it took me 20 minutes or more to do everything I need to do before going to bed. Bootsy had peed on 2 trash bags. Clean up the trash bags and the pee by hand. Do this. Bootsy has no teeth, so she needs to eat wet food. It took me more than 20 minutes to do my stuff to go to bed. Just me and 4 cats. So whenever every once in a while, just now I have the 2, and they're much easier than the other 2 that have died. I said that we're in Puss in Boots time. It's now taken me over 20 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever the time is to get you guys settled for bed. Point is simple. I'm sorry to keep going on. I don't know how. I see the family with the dog and the kids going to soccer, and they both work. I have no idea how they do it. And I don't think the busyness, changes as the reality moves forward. I don't believe it's the same as it was in the 70s and 80s. And not just was obvious things like having to be on email all night for your Fortune 500 job. That's the obvious. I'm saying metaphysically, it's not the same reality. I do believe that. Guys, real quick before we start this segment, I want to thank the people that send this stuff to me. I think Matt sent me one of these. This stuff comes from you guys, and I don't know what I'm going to talk about on what day. It's just, if I had to tag every little thing, this came from Jeff, it would be too hard for me. So this stuff is coming from you guys, and I'm sorry I can't thank everybody that sends every little thing or say that before we start a story. Just saying, it's you guys, in terms of this type of thing and the flying car, really helps me out. Put it that way. Headline: Harvard University is offering free tuition for families that make less than $200,000. A recent story from AP or the Associated Press. And guys, by the way, a story from AP, Thomson Reuters, or the BBC, that's coming literally from the 1984 Ministry of Information. It's not like 2 steps down like CNN or the Wall Street Journal or the Washington Post. We get AP, Thomson Reuters, or BBC. It's exciting because it's coming literally from 1984's ministry. Cambridge, Massachusetts. It says, dreaming of going to Harvard University? Not really. It sickens me to think. Well, the university has made things a little easier with an announcement Monday that students whose families make up to $200,000 won't pay tuition. The university said that the plan goes into effect for the 2025-2026 academic year and is aimed at making Harvard more affordable, especially for middle-income students. Those Those paupers. They do. You make it. Oh, you got it on that special program. Look at these assholes over here. Your parents make less than $200,000. You should wear a freaking armband, a yellow armband. You jerks. That's the treatment they're going to get. Way to go, Harvard. Those students could also get additional financial aid to cover other expenses. Matt, you don't think they're trying to create a class warfare or a caste system inside Harvard? They may be. They're always up to something evil. Think of what was in the movie, The Social Network, where the Winklevi twins or whatever, they rode for Harvard, or we're going to compete against Oxford or whatever. We're going to all the the rich kids on the crew team, and they row for Harvard, whatever. Think how those types of the Winklevis from that movie, The Social Network, Mark Zuckerberg slinking around campus in his bathrobe and his freaking sandals. Imagine how they're going to treat you don't think they'll know who's on the special program? What's that movie with Brendan Fraser? He gets a school ties or whatever. He's a quarterback, but he's another religion. Oh, he's got to hide that he wears the little chain and the little star. He has to hide that. It'll be like that. Don't tell anybody you're in on the special program. Pretend you're rich. It's just Akeem. We are not rich princes. We are normal African students. We didn't get in on the $200,000 less program. We are as rich as you. Don't tell anybody. They're going to find out. They're going to fucking find out. It'll be a caste system. Sorry, let's read the last paragraph. Quote, putting Harvard within financial reach for more individuals widens the array of backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives that all of our students encounter, fostering their intellectual and personal growth. Get that DEI crap out of here. Oh, who said it? Harvard University President Alan Garber said in a statement. You want to come on Quantum of Conscious show, President Alan Garber? I'll welcome you in here just with Mitch Pikachu. Quote, by bringing people of outstanding promise together to learn with, and from one another, Bot wrote this? We truly realize the tremendous potential of the university. What a bunch of fluff nonsense. University President Alan Garber, you should be ashamed of yourself. I see what you're trying to do here. It's like a caste system. Soon you have the socias, that's the crew team, against the greasers. That's the people in the $200,000 program. It'll be right out of, Stay Gold, Pony Boy. What's that movie? The Outsiders. It'll be the greasers against the socias. That's what they're trying to do here. So here's what's probably going to happen, and I'm not giving any ideas to the ambulance-chasing law firms. I'm sure they thought of this the first day they saw the news. The people that had been going to Harvard or there are other universities in the article offering similar programs where the parents weren't making that mark, but then they had to pay full tuition because the program is just going into effect for 25, 26. They're going to back sue. Yeah, it'll be like that horrible, wretched quarterback for Vanderbilt is Joseph Pavia. Whatever. Oh, he's sued because, I went to junior college and that shouldn't be taken away my eligibility. And then he's never good enough to go pro. So if he continues to play for Vanderbilt forever, he can make about $1 million a year because he's not of the size or stature to go pro, but he's a decent little competitor. I think he's a loser, that little Pavia for Vanderbilt. He's a little bastard because he sued. Oh, I want all my eligibility back. All the people that have been going to Harvard say, wait a second, where's my money? Well, I've been paying full. I've been here for 3 years. I'm going to back sue. And you know what will happen? It always happens. There will be a settlement of some kind. So they may not get full tuition, but they'll get half the tuition back. And it'll go back 10 years or more. It happens every time. It happened with the NFL and the concussions and the billions they said. The Not Milk loves this sort of situation. Exactly why we'll talk about some other time. So here you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the new Harvard University. And by the way, as beloved as The Outsiders is as a movie, the premises they put forth, it just was ridiculous. It didn't make any sense. You had to have it this way, but there's no town in the country where there's a group of rich kids that from like a fighting perspective or toughness perspective are on par with the greaser types. They had to do this or there wouldn't be a movie. But it says, no knives or chains. Oh, sure, these rich kids with their khakis and their sweaters, they're on equal footing from a toughness standpoint. with the, these greaser types, no knives or chains. Oh, that's, sure. Yeah, it doesn't exist anywhere. If there was just one little greaser gang of just 8 of them, and they would rule, they would be able to kick, they would have no fear of the entire Soch population, hundreds and hundreds in the Bryn Mawr school district over here in Villanova. If there was just 8 greasers, they would control everything. It wouldn't be equal. This is a joke. Then the kid with the Argyle sweater pulls a knife and, hey, pony boy, you can't just yell, stay gold. That's not good enough. You got to fight back. Here's the real world conversation. Darren, did you just pull a knife on this greaser kid? Put it back in your pocket. What are you doing carrying a knife? If you stab the little greaser kid, the plans you have with Sue, and you're going to Yale and the Jaguar and the Lexus and all that, it all goes away if you stab the greaser kid. What are you going to get? Put the knife away. If you stab the greaser kid, there ain't going to be no job on Wall Street. There ain't going to be no Lexus. There ain't going to be no future with Betty. Now let's just walk away. What are we bothering with this little greaser for? Fuck 'em. Top story at CNN.com. The good news is Dubuque is still with us when this bullshit is the top story. It's one of the most shocking national security indiscretions in years. The revelation that President Donald Trump's national security team discussed military strikes in Yemen on an unclassified group chat suggests a cavalier attitude toward America's secrets and the safety of U.S. forces on a deadly mission. Oh, sure. Yeah, they just went onto a chat room. Do they still exist? The group message revealed Monday in an article by Atlantic editor Jeffrey Goldberg, who was somehow added to the chat by accident. Hints at a lax national security process and incompetence as the nation faces a world of threats. Donald Trump's Security Administration, National Security Advisor, General, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff, we can't get into our normal outlets. I don't know. Fuck it. Let's just go on Twitter or something. Let's talk on Twitch. Nobody will find out. Okay, who would be dumb enough to believe these sorts of stories? Who would be dumb enough? Our entire group of family and friends around us. I can't take it anymore. Back over to the AP and the literal ministry. 23andMe files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy as co-founder and CEO Wojcicki resigns. It's usually like Wojcicki or Krzyzewski or whatever. How do you get to be CEO with a name like that? How do you even get past high school with a name like that? Okay, they're out of business. Now, 23andMe, for the 2 people that don't know, they're like Ancestry. They take your DNA. You give us your DNA, we'll tell you what part of Ireland you came from. So I guess Ancestry.com was chosen as the Not Milk to be the one they move forward with. That's how the Not Milk works. The Not Milk has lots of horses that they put bets on. They own the horses. They own the jockeys. They fund the races. Remember with MySpace and Friendster and Napster? That was something else. Facebook, they're doing the same thing. They'll move forward with Ancestry, but then the 23andMe and all the others will go out of business. They got the last drop out of the 23andMe washcloth. People just aren't sending their DNA into us anymore. It was great for 10 years. We collected up everybody's DNA and we ran it through our Not Milk supercomputers and Whopper supercomputers. How did they send us the DNA? Well, some sent in stool samples. They weren't supposed to do that. Some sent urine samples. They weren't supposed to do that. But we'll take fingernails. We'll take hair. We'll take boogies. I don't know how they get up the DNA. They probably took almost anything you could put in a little baggie. But people just aren't sending to 23andMe. Oh, let it go out of business. Like, remember we shut down Friendster and MySpace? We'll just move. Not Milk says we'll just move forward with Ancestry. Yeah, you'd have to be one of those people to put out this crazy conspiracy theory. Matt, it's just capitalism. They didn't succeed. Ancestry won. You don't know what you're talking about. Nope, I'll shut the whole channel down. Number 5, Trump administration asks Supreme Court to halt judge's order to rehire probationary federal workers. That's a mouthful. They're asking the Supreme Court, hey, hi, it's the Trump administration. You remember me? It's the Trump administration. Can you halt your order, please, to rehire probationary federal workers? We want them all fired. See, this is what the Not Milk does. I've said this many times, but it's worth repeating. Trump and to his supporters and the welded flags on the back of pickup trucks. There's so many things he's going to do and wants to do, but he's always blocked by the liberal courts. The courts can do anything to stop the president nowadays. Oh, Trump wants to do this? Oh, there's a federal court in Arkansas that's stopping it. And that's the message to the people, and they buy it. when honestly, the way, if there was anything real about the Constitution and how the executive is separate from the judicial and the legislature, there's most of the things he says he wants to do, he has full executive power under the Constitution to do. He's like, court can't block me. If Trump wants to build the Great Wall of China across the southern border to separate Texas from Juarez, there's no court that can stop that. They've just made up how civics works today. It was all made up. I know, as anybody knew, it's always been a fraud from day one. I got it. Sometimes I have to talk about things as if they were real. Okay? He can do whatever under the guise or the heading of national security. He can literally send a team to Beijing. Say, drive out to the Great Wall. I know it's 80 miles away. Drive out and study it. This is what I want on the southern border, blocking Texas from Juarez. You literally want a representation? No, I want the real Great Wall. Try to bring pieces back if you can. If not, we'll get our own boulders. We're building our own Great Wall to separate Mexico. He can do that if he claims national security. That's why they're supposed, I know it's all fake. Are you new here? But that's why there's supposed to be checks and balances. If he just completely goes mad and oversteps, then he gets impeached by the legislature. No little court in freaking San Francisco in the Nancy Pelosi district can stop it. But that's what they've convinced your Aunt Ginny and all your friends and family think. Oh, the Trump supporters, the courts are blocking us again. This is all made up. They can't. Maybe I manifested this from the freevoice.io video. Number 2, Tiger Woods confirms his relationship with Vanessa Trump in a social media post. Vanessa Trump, okay, I had to look it up. Who the hell is Vanessa Trump? I know Ivanka. Ivanka, if you're listening, I still want you to call me, but who's Vanessa Trump? Donald Trump Jr., one of Trump's kids, got married, and then she took the name of Trump. Now, it's Vanessa Trump. It's not like it's Trump's daughter, who's now dating Tiger Woods. Vanessa Trump. If there's anybody that can get this message or this video to Vanessa Trump, run it over to her immediately. Vanessa, you do not want to get involved with Tiger Woods. Do you have any idea what you're getting involved in? I guess she does, but do you know how many Waffle House waitresses he's had between Alexandria, Virginia, and Athens, Georgia? Count the number of Waffle Houses along I-95. Then times it by 3. The 3 waitresses per Waffle House. He had an issue with Waffle House waitresses. He had 15, 20 of them. I believe I have that news right. Okay? Vanessa Trump. Are you kidding me? And he's not even very good looking. Let's look at the damn mugshot again. He's a very ugly man. I have to go back to AP Ministry here for the number 3. Austria says it has uncovered a Russian-steered campaign to spread disinformation about Ukraine. Before we talk about how crafty those Russians are, oh, they're just experts at spreading disinformation. They can hack the election. All this, oh, they're just experts. Let's talk about the more obvious thing that stood out to me when I read this news headline, which of course is very real, just like all the rest of them. Austria says it has uncovered a Russian-steered campaign. Austria? Can anybody listening to the words coming out of my mouth say one thing that Austria has done ever? Name one thing Austria has ever done, ever to contribute to anything. Here's the first thing that comes to mind. I'm not even joking. They handed Marie Antoinette off to France to be the Dauphine or the Dauphin or whatever. I love the movie with Kirsten Dunst. It's a Sofia Coppola movie. I love the use of music and you can have all the French dogs you like. Nothing of Austria can come through this tunnel. That's the last thing Austria did. Gave the world a beheaded queen. Austria says it has, what does it have, a team of like teenagers coding and they just uncovered a Russian plot in their AC/DC t-shirts? Austria, just don't bother. Just run your ski slopes. Stay out of it. Just stay away. Go away. You're trying to make yourself relevant every 100 years and it's not working. But here back to Russia. Oh, we've spread the word, and Donatnilk is so happy that everybody around the world thinks Russia's so crafty with disinformation, and they can manage the outcomes of elections. And how they got away with this? It's Matt. What part of it's made up? All of it's made up. I'm going to close this video with a very personal and private appeal to Vanessa Trump. That's just for her and the other 5,000 or so people that may be listening to this. Sweetie, Vanessa, again, one final appeal. Please, if you're listening to me, do not get involved with this man that calls himself Eldridge. Is it Eldridge Tiger Woods? How do you get Tiger from Eldridge? It doesn't make any sense. Sweetie, Vanessa, I know it didn't work out with Donald Trump Jr. That little Peckerwood boy works with Jerry down at the Glass. It didn't work out. You don't got no more Lincoln bedrooms at the White House. I'm sorry about that. But you don't follow, you don't follow good money after bad. This is bad money after bad. Sorry, no more Lincoln bedroom at the White House. But you don't get back at him by going out with a sex fiend. That's it. He's a sex fiend. Do you know his psychological history? He does not putt from the rough. Where's that from? Good Will Hunting. Matt Damon's being analyzed by, is it George Plimpton? He says a little light in the loafers. He says, you putt from the rough. Tiger Woods does not putt from the rough. He loves women so much he has some sort of psychological disorder to abuse them. He does not putt from the rough. And you're going to pay a terrible price. Don't do it. I don't want to take you out. I like Ivanka, but I'll take you out for a few months just to get you over the hump. You don't follow good money after bad, or in this case, bad on top of bad. Stay away from this Waffle House molester. Thanks for listening.